on this episode of Fan Addicts.
Some people say I'm obsessed.
People call my brother Jimmy Jaws.
How much is this?
To 75,000.
That's the gun that was in the movie.
Even though it's only a jacket, I don't see why I should give them away.
The look, the accent, the women. I've asked myself many times, is it an obsession? Is there something wrong with me? How far do you go? When do you go far enough? It's out of control.
What's standing in the way of me opening the museum right now is money.
Because I'm probably going to have to hold you up when I tell you how much I think it's worth.
In the world of movie memorabilia, there are fans, and then there are fan addicts.
I'm Jim Beller, and I'm a Jaws collector. Some people say I'm obsessed. Jaws is a big part of my life. I can't imagine my life without this.
A lot of people call my brother Jimmy Jaws.
Jim is definitely obsessed with Jaws. He's constantly thinking about what he can add to the collection.
If it's Jaws related or shark related with the word Jaws on it, he wants it.
I've been collecting Jaws items for 38 years, and I have the world's largest collection of Jaws memorabilia in the world. I've got posters, hats, magazines, books, t-shirts, toys, props, games, puzzles, models, art, you name it, they made it, I've got it. I got this from a great Jaws artist. Jaws is about this quaint little New England island that has a big monster shark coming in and terrorizing their community. Jaws changed a lot of people's ideas about going swimming, including myself. Before I saw the movie, I was never afraid of water. I remember as a kid was taught how to swim, and since Jaws, I haven't really been out deep over my head. I always got to know what's under me. Dun, 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 dun. My first exposure to Jaws happened when I asked my mom if I can go see the movie. Picture me when I'm 9 years old. There's a 9-year-old little boy in a movie theater. You got this big monster shark coming, eating people. Dun, 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 dun. You see the fin. I'm like, you know, I'm a wide-eyed. I love the movie.
Is it true that most people get attacked by sharks in 3 feet of water, about 10 feet from the beach?
Yeah.
The reason why I collect Jaws stuff. Back then there weren't any VHSs or VCRs or Laserdisc or anything like that back in '75. So whenever I'd see something, it was like bringing the movie home with me. Because I was 9 years old, I wasn't a teenager, I couldn't go myself to see this movie every weekend, which I wanted to. So my dad would bring home magazines, like hide it under my pillow. When I'd come home that night, I'd be laying on my pillow watching TV. I'd feel something under my pillow, and it's a Jaws magazine. So they basically started my collection for me. When I look at my collection, it brings it all back. My family, my mother, my father, my 10th birthday where my mom made this great Jaws cake. She made it out of this triangle pan. For teeth, she cut out Wrigley Spearmint gum. All right, here are the teeth that were in the original production of Jaws. There's a scene at the end of the movie when Robert Shaw slides into the shark's mouth at the end, and they need to put rubber teeth in the shark, and these are actually the rubber teeth that were in the movie. I got this one from a set decorator who was on the movie, and this one I got from one of the kids as an extra that was in the movie. Jaws came out in 1975. It was Steven Spielberg's first big major movie. Jaws was a huge success. Top grossing movie of all time back then.
Put out the pilot.
This is one of the barrels used in the production of Jaws. This one was not screen used. It wasn't painted yellow, but it was used to float the sharks out to locations in their shark pens. Right here we got a very rare model kit. I do have one made. This is what it looks like when it's built. In 1974, this schematic was made during the production of Jaws. This schematic was made for the scene where Matt Hooper, Richard Dreyfuss's character, gets lowered into the cage and the shark attacks the cage. This is probably one of the more expensive things I bought. Right here I have a Jaws jigsaw puzzle from 1975. I got some shark hot sauce that somebody gave me as a gift a few years ago. These are kind of rare. These are knee-high stockings. They're still factory sealed. I bought these for around $30 to $40 about 5 years ago. And these were little boys' underwear. I work at the Hotel Providence in Providence, Rhode Island. I am a doorman, bellman, concierge. Hello, welcome to the Hotel Providence.
Thank you.
Check in right over to you right now. Most of the people at the hotel where I work know that I collect Jaws items.
Hey, Jimmy Jaws, how are you?
Hey, Dan, what's going on? One of the best reasons for living here in Providence, Rhode Island is that it's so close to Martha's Vineyard, where the movie Jaws was filmed. Hi, I need a round-trip ticket to Martha's Vineyard. Today I'm heading out to Martha's Vineyard to look for more Jaws collectibles. I just love going there because it's like we live in the movie over and over again. The place has not changed much at all. Hi, Susan.
Hey, Jim, how are you?
It is so great to see you. Well, one of the people I'm going to see today is Susan Murphy, who has this great Jaws production crew jacket. I see you have the jacket.
Yeah, there it is.
Now tell me about this.
This is the jacket that belongs to my husband, Lynn, who towed the shark in the movie Jaws.
It's fantastic. This is beautiful. I'm just curious, when do you think you're going to be letting it go? And
Well, I know you have your heart set on this thing, Jim.
yes, thank you, yes.
But I can't let it go for less than $5,000.
Okay,
Even though it's only a jacket. It's the only one that I know of.
I understand. Would you take $3,000 maybe?
Well, let's put it this way, Jim.
Yeah.
I'm not greedy,
Yeah?
but it's the only one I have.
Yeah.
So
It's the only one I've ever seen.
I don't see why I should give them away.
Well, all I have right now is 3, so I know you're looking for 5 when you're ready to let it go.
That would be great.
I'm kind of disappointed that I didn't get the jacket today, but I totally understand why. You know, it means a lot to her family. Someone else I'm going to meet today is Arthur Ben David. Arthur Ben David is the guy who loaned the crew the gun that Robert Shaw used in the movie Jaws. And I heard it's for sale, and I'm going to see if I can go get it. Arthur, listen, do you still have that gun that was used in the movie Jaws?
I just happen to have it right here.
If I can get this for my museum, this would be incredible. This would be like the centerpiece for the museum.
Now you ready?
Yep. That's it. That's the gun that was in the movie. Robert Shaw held this in the movie.
Yep.
How much is this for sale? You're selling this, right?
I was told a while back
Yeah.
that I could get up to $75,000. So
Wow.
I figured I'd go for 75. If I have to let it go for 50, I'll let it go for 50.
Okay. No, I would love to, but I just can't afford it this trip.
75 today, and I'll let you fire it.
Oh, can I fire it anyway? I can't believe I'm firing a gun at Shaw. This is amazing.
Now! Shoot!
Oh, man, that's amazing. You know, if I can't afford it this time, at least I know it will be here for me.
Jim, this will look beautiful in your collection.
It would.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. It was
Next
great
time,
seeing you.
Bring that check the next time.
I will, I promise.
Coming up.
Let me hold your hand for a second, because I'm probably going to have to hold you up when I tell you how much I think it's worth.
And later on Fan Addicts.
I started only collecting the card, and then next thing you know, it's out of control.
To a lot of people, Jaws means this killer shark devouring people. Jaws holds something different for me. When I look at my collection, it brings it all back. My family, my mother, my father, hiding Jaws stuff under my pillow. My dream for the future for this collection would be opening up a Jaws museum. It'll be a great way to share this stuff with the next generation of Jaws fans. What's standing in the way of me opening the museum right now is money. So I invited an appraiser over. Her name is Sherry, and she's a movie memorabilia expert. If I find out that some of my items are worth a lot of money, then I am one step closer to opening my Jaws museum.
Hi, Jim.
Yes.
Hi, I'm Sherry. I'm the appraiser.
Hi, thank you so much for coming over. Come on in.
Oh my goodness. When I walked in the room, I could really sense that there was a lot of valuable stuff in there. He's going to be thrilled.
I got the rubber teeth over there. This shelf has the book with all the autographs.
Oh my gosh. Well, now I can see why you want to open a museum.
Yes. Have a look around, and I can't wait to hear what you have to say.
Oh, wow, here's the tooth. Wow, this is in great condition. There's no pieces missing, no cracks. The first thing I picked up when I went in there was the teeth. I understand that one is definitely
In the movie, yes, in the Mechanical Shark.
So you got this from the set decorator.
John Dwyer said he ripped this out after Robert Shaw was getting eaten by the shark.
I love that story. And can I ask how much you paid for it?
I paid $600.
You might be surprised to know that the value of this one tooth is about $1,200.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Jim, you have these 2 t-shirts
Yes.
that were actually silkscreened by the crew.
I actually got this from a kid in the movie, and these are very hard to come by.
So this blue shirt, the value on this is, about $75 to $100. I've seen t-shirts before, but I've never seen the sweatshirt.
Okay.
The sweatshirt is worth about $150.
Really? Okay, that's great.
This is a piece of concept art. It is unsigned. Can you tell me if you know who the artist is?
The artist's name was Carl Aldan. Okay. He did a couple of concept artworks with Jaws too.
Can I ask you how much you paid for it originally?
I got this on eBay for $30.
Do you want to know what it's worth now?
Yeah, I would.
I think the value is somewhere around $1,200.
Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not kidding.
Oh, wow, that's fantastic.
He's got a really nice costume in the original box.
It's a prototype for the Halloween costume for the kids back in 1975.
It's complete. Obviously, it's never been worn. We've got the mask. And then we have the costume.
Underneath, did you see what's underneath there?
Oh, what's underneath?
This is the actual designs that the artist did. I got it for $150.
As a prototype, I've never seen another one.
Really?
No. Because you have the drawings in there, it's worth $500 to $700.
That's incredible.
I'm the greatest, yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no time to listen what's on your mind. I'm the greatest, yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no time to listen what's on your mind. I'm the greatest, yeah, I'm the greatest. Ain't got no time to listen what's on your mind. I'm the greatest.
And this is a first edition Jaws by Peter Benchley with signatures of 50 cast and crew members.
Yes.
How in the world did you ever get your hands on this piece?
I met a woman whose mother dated somebody on the crew of Jaws. She had this book and she just had all the cast and crew sign it while she was there. Roy Scheider is over here. Richard Dreyfuss is over here.
Right here.
Yeah, Lee Fierro, Mrs. Kipner's here. Susan Backlini's right here. Is Christy at the beginning, the woman gets killed.
Yep. Well, this is really, really a spectacular piece. And did you have to purchase it, or did
Yes,
she?
yes. I spent $400 on this.
Do you have any sort of educated guess of what you think this book might be worth?
Well, I'm just hoping that it's worth a little bit more than what I paid for.
Let me hold your hand for a second, because I'm probably going to have to hold you up when I tell you how much I think it's worth.
Okay.
I think it's worth somewhere around $15,000.
Are you serious?
Yeah, totally serious.
$15,000?
This is a first edition book. It's got all the signatures of the cast and crew.
$50,000?
Yes.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Just, wow. I really had no idea it was worth that much.
I think I blew Jim's mind when I told him the value of the book. I think he had no idea, and since he paid very little for it, I don't think he was expecting it to be anywhere near what I appraised it for. So Jim, I've got one more number for you.
Yeah.
The value, I think the value of all 10 items that I looked at is gonna fall somewhere right along $28,000.
$28,000? Oh my God.
Absolutely.
This is fantastic. $28,000?
Yeah.
Oh, this is going to help me a great deal with the museum. Thank you so much, Sherry. Thank you. I feel great that I think the museum has more of a reality now than before. $28,000 just for those 10 items? That's amazing. I mean, I have thousands and thousands of items. I've been collecting Jaws stuff all my life. Who knows, if I do sell something I only have one of, hopefully I can sell it to the person, they'll lend it to the museum, so it'll still be as part of the collection, so I won't lose it for the museum. When the time does come and my childhood does end, because my parents aren't going to be here anymore, I'll have my Jaws collection, because they're the ones who planted the Jaws seed in me. This would be a great spot for a museum. Whenever I do go through my stuff, I'll always have that connection of Jaws and my parents, and my family, and my youth.
Coming up.
I came down the steps and I turned the corner and I saw everything.
This has exploded.
Wow. That's why you have a lock on the door. My name is George. I've been married 23 years to my lovely wife, Abby. I have two beautiful boys, Brent and Chad, and a beautiful baby girl named Nova, my corgi. Most people would think of me as a Bond collector, but I look at it much more than that. I've been collecting now for about 25 years. I'd say in the collection's maybe 1,100 items. There's games, there's puzzles, watches, props in movies, there's racing car sets, small figures, large figures, I mean, really everything. And then the things that I make. We got an AR-7 rifle that Connery uses from Russia with Love. And he's got a really unique scope on top.
Do you notice anything?
Nobody knows where this scope is from. I set on a mission, so you know what, I want to make that scope. I'm still working on it. I had the skill set growing up, making things with my hands, so I was able to get to the point where I can make the things that aren't available. In the movie, they show with red lenses, so these lenses are going to go inside. I'll end up with this, and it'll look identical to the screen-used one. I've asked myself many times, is it an obsession? Is there something wrong with me? How far do you go? When do you go far enough?
When I was a kid, my family didn't have the money to get all the cool James Bond toys that I wanted so badly.
Growing up, we had a really nice toy store on one corner called Hobbyland. And he always had Bond toys in that window. And you want to get these things. It kind of brings back something to you that the past is important.
Now I earn a decent living and I'm a skilled craftsman, so I'm able to fill that void.
It's not something you do for money. I do it for the love, for the challenge, and I'm a completist and a perfectionist.
Today I invited two close friends over to check out my collection. They're also big James Bond fans.
Hey, you guys, you're late. Get in here.
You've got a James Bond dog.
I came down the steps and I turned the corner and I saw everything really beautifully displayed.
This has exploded.
Wow. It's exploded.
This has exploded.
Yeah.
It's growing on its
Holy
own.
mackerel. Very nicely done.
I like what you've done to the place.
This is really the love of the basement where I got the toys that I didn't have as a kid.
Well, you more than made up for it, George.
But I have. My first memory of Bond was going to the movies. My mom would give me 50 cents, we'd go to the theater, and I would sit in the front row, and I would just watch it over and over again.
It's not perfected yet.
You're a kid growing up, you always fantasize that you're a screen character.
My name is Bond. James Bond.
The look, the accent, the women, the weaponry, those things make an impression. They made an impression on me. My foremost love is the Aston Martin DB5. I remember seeing that in the first run movie, it was 1964.
You'll be using this Aston Martin DB5 with modifications.
The look, the machine guns, the ejector seat. I started only collecting the car, and then next thing you know, it's out of control. This is a very rare Aston Martin. I chased this down from before the internet days. I finally got one, and then I restored it. This is the largest production Aston Martin car that was ever made, and I understand that less than 300 were made.
Does your wife ever say, what do you need another Aston Martin for?
That's why you have a lock on the door. My wife, I guess she tolerates the collecting and the time down here.
He spent mostly the whole day there, especially the weekends.
But she's not into the stuff. She doesn't have that connection that I had growing up. One of my favorites is the Gilbert Aston Martin that I had as a kid. My mom got this for me at some birthday back then. You gotta see this.
Oh!
It stops. What? Machine guns, the bumpers, the ejector. The plate goes up in the
look
back.
at that. It's actually working by itself.
That is amazing.
Wow. Here we have something from the 60s that's a little, battery-operated toy that can cause that much of, excitement and kind of bring us back to being little kids on Christmas morning. It was cool.
I gotta show you this. This is, to me, the holy grail of all the Bond stuff. Everybody wants the attaché case. This is the first thing that Bond gets that looks like something normal, but it's got all these gizmos and gadgets inside that work.
Black leather case.
And the thing everybody loves. You gotta have it, right?
Press that button there. Now she comes.
You never know when you're gonna need it. My favorite is the one that I made. This is Connery from Thunderbolt. I used the joints that you find in like a model aircraft. Then I had to make the gun from scratch. And then I had the suit made also. But to me, the thing of it that I really like, which I spent the most time on, is the jetpack. I had to go back to the drawings that the Eon Studios had of what jetpack looked like and get all the dimensions. It's got all the same cables. It's got the gauges, everything else. And it actually fits on, straps on the same way the real one did.
Is this what I think it is? Wow.
This is the gun that Connery uses at the beginning of Goldfinger. He's coming out of the water. He's got to get over the wall, and it shoots a grapple. He would shoot it over the wall. This thing would open up like that, and he's over the wall. And the thing about this was a several-year project to try to figure out how do you make this. The only thing I had on this was there was a photograph in Christie's. The original prop was sold at Christie's, I think, in '95. I think it sold for like $10,000, which is peanuts today.
Yeah. You could probably add another zero to that.
Yeah.
And I know that he made that from scratch. It didn't exist until George started his work, his passion on it. It pulls you into that moment of the movie. That piece is amazing.
This is something I made that I saw in From Russia with Love. He meets this Russian spy on a transport. He's pretending to take a photograph of her.
Smile.
He's trying to get information from her, but he's got a recorder in the back of it. And I looked at that thing and I said, I gotta have that.
Answer my questions quietly, but clearly.
I was able to build this, and it's an exact replica of what you see in the film.
Lovely view.
In case you ever want to take anybody out, I mean, if you need to borrow a sniper rifle,
That's a massive piece.
This is pretty heavy. If you don't hit them with a bullet, you could just hit them on the head with it.
How heavy?
You probably could.
It's really heavy.
Now this is not real, correct?
No, of course not.
That's actually a Walther WA-2000, which is it's a really powerful sniper rifle used by the military. It was used by Timothy Dalton in The Living Daylights.
You missed deliberately.
Everybody needs a hobby. Everybody needs some therapy. Some more than others.
I'm glad you guys came over.
You
guys can appreciate it.
George is the opposite of crazy. The fact that he has this passion as kind of a detox or a therapy, I think is actually very healthy.
When I think of the Bond things, it just brings back a great time in my life, childhood, the fun, the innocence. As you go downstairs into my display area, the passion that I have is obvious. The place almost reflects what you are inside. You just surround yourself with the things that you love, the things that you make. It makes me happy.